Have you ever stopped to think why you get that shiver down your spine every time someone mentions marriage? It's no coincidence. You're like a ship without an anchor, sailing on the open sea, seeking freedom but adrift in an ocean of uncertainties. And I guarantee you, what you're about to discover in the next few minutes is ultra rare to hear out there. Pay attention. Most men today are running from marriage like it's a prison. But here's the secret almost no one realizes. You're not running from marriage. You're running from something much deeper, and it's costing you more than you imagine. Do you know what happens when you ignore this truth? You end up trapped in an endless cycle of empty relationships. That feeling of being alone, even when you have someone by your side. That frustration of never being able to build something solid. You know that feeling, don't you? And it doesn't stop there. Every year that passes in this unconscious escape is another year wasted on superficial relationships. You go to sleep with that feeling of emptiness. You wake up with that question hammering in your head. Is this really it? Isn't there something more? Now, answer me something. How many guys do you know who reached 40, 50 years old and bitterly regretted it? Men who spent their whole lives running from commitment and now look back and see only traces of lost opportunities. Do you want to be another one of them? Wake up, man. I've spent the last 12 years immersed in male psychology, studying patterns, analyzing behaviors. And what I discovered is that there's a mental framework operating in your brain right now. It's what I call the male decision triangle. First vertex, misunderstood freedom. Second, identity in crisis. Third, the distorted price of commitment. These three elements are sabotaging your decisions without you even realizing it. But hold on, I'm going to show you exactly how this works. And more importantly, I'm going to give you the tools to clearly decide what you truly want. Because deep down, you already know that continuing to run isn't the solution. Now let's get to the 5 signs that reveal the real reason men run from marriage today. Number 1, the infinite menu syndrome. You open the dating app and see hundreds of options. Swipe right, swipe left. There's always one more. There's always the next one. Your brain gets addicted to that instant dopamine hit. It's like being at an all-you-can-eat buffet where you can never pick a dish because something new always appears. Studies show that the male brain processes partner selection the way it processes hunting opportunities. The more options, the more paralysis. The more paralysis, the more escape. It's biological, man. Have you ever felt that? That anxiety of choosing wrong? That fear of missing out on other opportunities? Remember this: infinite menu, eternal hunger. Does that make sense to you? Number 2, the ghost of financial divorce. You've seen your dad, your uncle, your friend lose half of everything in a divorce. You've heard the horror stories: alimony, asset division, lawyers. And your brain has created an internal radar that sets off a red alarm every time it hears the word marriage. But pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. This fear is based on extreme cases that became the dominant narrative. It's like being afraid to drive because you saw accidents on the news. Yes, accidents happen, but millions drive every day without any problem. What you don't realize is that this fear is making you spend far more on empty relationships than you would building something solid. Expensive dinners to impress, gifts to compensate for a lack of connection, trips that lead nowhere. Think about it. How much have you already spent on relationships that lasted 3 months? The math doesn't lie. Can you feel the difference? Number 3, the modern male identity crisis. You've been programmed to believe that marriage means the death of your individuality, that you'll turn into that guy who asks permission to go out with his friends, that your life will be reduced to diapers and HOA meetings. That's the biggest lie they've sold you. The problem isn't marriage. The problem is you not knowing who you are before you enter one. You're running from becoming someone you're not even meant to be. It's like being afraid of a ghost you created yourself. Men who know their identity don't lose it in marriage. They expand it. But few apply this because it requires internal work that most prefer to avoid. Have you ever stopped to define who you really are? What are your non-negotiable values? What is your masculine purpose? If the answer is no, you're not running from marriage. You're running from yourself. Did that sting? It was supposed to. Number 4, the addiction to external validation. You need that constant confirmation that you still got it. You need to feel like you're still in the game. Each new conquest is a dose of validation. It's your ego being massaged. It's proof that you still have market value. But listen to what I'm about to tell you. This is a prison disguised as freedom. You become a slave to the next conquest, the next match, the next validation. And it's never enough. Never. It's like a hamster running on a wheel. Lots of movement, zero progress. Studies show that men addicted to external validation never develop solid internal validation. And without internal validation, any relationship becomes an emotional crutch. Do you want authentic freedom? Stop depending on others' opinions to know your worth. Does that resonate with you? Number 5, the myth of the perfect partner. You're waiting for that woman who checks all the boxes. Beautiful like a model, intelligent like a CEO, funny like a comedian, understanding like a therapist, sexual like a porn star, nurturing like your mother. Wake up to reality, brother. That woman doesn't exist, and even if she did, why would she choose you? What are you offering in return? Are you on the same level as what you're demanding? The search for perfection is an escape from reality. It's a fear of dealing with imperfection. It's an inability to build something together. It's emotional laziness disguised as high standards. Real relationships are built, not found ready-made. It's like building muscle at the gym. There's no shortcut. There's no magic pill. Remember this: perfection paralyzes, progress liberates. Does that make sense now? Now I'm going to tell you something few men are ready to hear. Maybe you're thinking, but marriage really is a trap. Look at how many divorces, how many unhappy men. And you're partly right. Many marriages fail, but not for the reason you think. They fail because men enter marriage for the wrong reasons, with the wrong person, at the wrong time. It's not marriage that's the problem. It's the execution. It's like blaming the gym, because people get hurt doing exercises wrong. The problem isn't the gym. It's the lack of knowledge and preparation. You don't have to get married. No one is forcing you. But you need to understand why you're running. Because until you understand, you'll keep repeating the same patterns, the same mistakes, the same frustrations. And time doesn't turn back, man. Every year that passes in this unconscious escape is one less year to build something meaningful. Whether it's marriage, a lasting partnership, or whatever makes sense to you. But it has to truly make sense. It can't be based on fear. Do you perceive the difference between choosing not to marry and running from marriage? One is a conscious decision. The other is an emotional reaction. One is authentic freedom. The other is a disguised prison. Now think about a Friday night. You're at the bar with your friends. Everyone laughing loudly. Cold beer going down. Stories being told. But when you look into each of their eyes, you see that weariness, that dissatisfaction, that emptiness that beer doesn't fill. How many more identical Fridays can you handle? How many Saturday mornings waking up with a hangover and regret? How many times repeating the same movie? Pay attention to what I'm about to tell you now. Conscious commitment isn't a prison. It's a choice. It's you deciding where to anchor your ship because you found a port worth staying in, not because you're tired of sailing, but because you found where you want to build something. The difference is brutal. Men who run from marriage out of fear live in a prison without bars. Men who choose consciously, whether marrying or not, live in authentic freedom. Do you want to know the secret that separates the two? Clear masculine purpose. When you know exactly who you are and where you're going, marriage stops being a threat. It becomes a tool. You either use it or you don't. But it's a strategic choice, not an emotional escape. Remember, a man without purpose runs from everything. A man with purpose chooses his battles. And here's the truth almost no one realizes. Most men aren't running from marriage. They're running from the possibility of failure, from the risk of giving themselves fully and getting hurt, from the vulnerability of building something real with someone. It's easier to stay on the surface. It's safer not to commit. It's more comfortable to blame marriage than to admit you're afraid. But security is an illusion, man. Do you think you're safe jumping from relationship to relationship? Do you think you're protected by keeping emotional distance? Do you think you're in control because you can leave at any moment? Come on, stop fooling yourself. Real control comes from knowing your fears and choosing despite them. Real security comes from building something solid. Real freedom comes from conscious commitment to what matters. Now let me ask you a crucial question. 10 years from now, what do you want to look back and see? A decade of escapes and superficial relationships? Or a decade building something that matters, whether alone or with someone, but by conscious choice? The clock is ticking. And no, this isn't pressure for you to get married. It's pressure for you to wake up, for you to stop running and start choosing, for you to stop reacting and start acting. Because ultimately, you know what happens to ships without anchors? They're not free. They're lost, wandering without direction, without a destination, without purpose. And you don't want to be another one lost in the sea of empty options. You want clarity. You want direction. You want to choose your destiny, not be carried away by the current of fear and indecision. So here's my final piece of advice. Stop running from marriage. Start running towards your masculine purpose. Define who you are, what you want, where you're going, and then, only then decide if marriage is part of that path or not. But let it be your choice, not your escape. Remember what I said at the beginning? You're like a ship without an anchor. But an anchor isn't a prison. It's a choice of where to stop. It's a conscious decision of where to build. It's the freedom to choose your port. The others? They keep running. They keep drifting. They keep feeling empty. You already know too much to keep pretending you don't. Now the choice is yours. Do you keep running or start choosing? Do you keep reacting or start acting? Do you keep being just another one, or do you become the exception? Like this video now before you forget. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Because what I share here is the kind of truth few are willing to tell you. And you deserve to know the truth, especially about yourself.